The city's old police archives were more than a graveyard of forgotten cases. They were a tomb of unfinished stories, a vault where justice had been left to rot. The air was thick with the ghosts of the lost, their whispers woven into the brittle pages of case files long abandoned. Dust clung to the shelves like regret, the scent of aged paper and stale failure suffocating in the dim glow of flickering fluorescent lights. Detective Anna Reed stood in the doorway, her breath slow, controlled, but beneath her steady exterior something stirred, a familiar dread. The weight of 1,000 unanswered questions pressed against her ribs. This room wasn't just haunted by the past, it was a living thing, pulsing with the echoes of lives cut short. Her gloved fingers traced along rusted filing cabinets, past names that had faded from the world but not from memory. Then she found it, thick, yellowed, and stamped with bold, unrelenting letters. Unsolved. Operation Casanova 2082010. Her pulse quickened. This wasn't just another cold case. It was his case. The Casanova Killer. Anna's fingers, calloused from years of handling crime scene evidence, traced the faded lettering. The dust motes, disturbed by her presence, danced in the dim light, mimicking the restless spirits of the victims. She recalled the hushed conversations in the precinct, the chilling tales of a killer who moved like a phantom, leaving behind a trail of broken hearts and crimson roses. For Anna, this was more than just another case. It was unfinished business. Years ago, she had been the rookie assigned to catalog evidence on the last known victim, Claire Hensley, a respected journalist and a woman Anna had admired from afar. Claire had once been the kind of woman Anna hoped to become. Sharp, relentless, unafraid. She had investigated corruption and exposed secrets in places where the light rarely reached, and then she disappeared. Her last message had been to a colleague about an unstoppable story, one that never saw print. The police had found no forced entry, no clear signs of struggle, just a single red rose left on the mahogany desk of her home office. Claire had been erased, as if she had never existed. Anna had never forgotten her. The memory of logging Claire's case file, of staring at her missing persons photo, of seeing the exhaustion in her superior's eyes as he marked it unsolved. It all lingered, a ghost in her subconscious. And now, as she held the Casanova Killer's file in her hands, the weight of unfinished justice settled onto her shoulders once more. It wasn't just about finding a murderer. It was about giving Claire back the voice that had been stolen from her. The Casanova Killer. A name that whispered through the city like an urban legend. A tale too monstrous to be real. But he was real. And he was methodical. He didn't just choose his victims. He curated them. Women of prominence, of intellect, of influence. He made them believe they were muses in his private masterpiece, weaving himself into their lives with an artist's precision. His words dripped with poetry. His touch was an elegant lie. But beneath the facade, he was dissecting them, studying their desires, their weaknesses. By the time they realized the truth, it was too late. He had already written their final act. Each victim, a testament to success, was left with a single blood-red rose, a macabre symbol of his twisted affection. Anna imagined the killer's mind, a dark canvas painted with narcissism and a desperate need for recognition. He desired fame, a dark celebrity in a city that celebrated notoriety. For a brief, terrifying period, he had achieved his goal, his name whispered in fear and fascination. Back in her cramped apartment, the file spread across her kitchen table like a gruesome tapestry, Anna immersed herself in the past. Empty coffee cups, silent witnesses to her relentless pursuit, littered the surface. She pored over witness statements, forensic reports, and faded news clippings, searching for a thread, a clue, anything that could unravel the mystery. The killer had vanished, leaving behind a void, a chilling silence. No body, no trace, no closure. Just the lingering scent of roses, a haunting reminder of lives extinguished and the echo of shattered dreams. The city had moved on, but Anna remained tethered to the past, driven by an insatiable need to bring the phantom to justice. The restaurant hummed with the soft murmur of conversations, the clinking of crystal, and the subtle strains of a live piano. It was a haven of elegance, a place where the city's elite sought refuge from the clamor of urban life. Tonight, Isabella Rossi, a curator of renowned reputation, found herself captivated by the presence of Alex. He moved with an almost ethereal grace, his charm radiating like a warm, inviting glow. Isabella, a woman accustomed to the calculated beauty of the art world, was intrigued by Alex's effortless sophistication. He spoke of art, of passion, of the delicate balance between beauty and emotion. His words, like brush strokes on a canvas, painted vivid images in her mind. He possessed a rare ability to articulate the intangible, to capture the very essence of human experience. He presented her with a single, perfect red rose, its velvety petals a stark contrast against the crisp white tablecloth. "Your eyes, Isabella," he whispered, his voice a low, intoxicating melody. "They hold the depth of a Renaissance masterpiece, a depth that mirrors the very soul of art itself." Isabella, a woman not easily swayed by flattery, felt a warmth spread through her chest. She, a connoisseur of beauty, recognized the artistry in his words, the genuine appreciation in his gaze. He seemed to see beyond the surface, to understand the intricate tapestry of her soul. The conversation flowed effortlessly, a dance of wit and intellect. Alex spoke of his travels, his encounters with artists, his profound appreciation for the human form. He shared stories of hidden galleries, of forgotten masterpieces, of the power of art to transcend time and space. Isabella, fascinated by his knowledge and captivated by his charm, found herself drawn deeper into his world. But the charm, the captivating persona, was a carefully constructed illusion. Weeks later, Isabella's meticulously organized apartment, a sanctuary of order and beauty, became a scene of chilling horror. The pristine white carpet, once a canvas of tranquility, was now stained with a macabre crimson. A single red rose lay amidst the chaos, its vibrant color a stark contrast against the stark reality of the scene. Isabella was gone, vanished into the night, leaving behind a void of fear and unanswered questions. Detective Mark Jenkins, Anna's partner, surveyed the scene, his face etched with grim frustration. "No forced entry," he muttered, his voice heavy with disbelief. "Smooth. Too smooth. Like he was invited." "He charmed his way in," Anna replied, her gaze fixated on the crimson rose, a stark symbol of a twisted romance. "He played her, made her trust him. Like a damn phantom," Mark said, his voice laced with a hint of fear, a chilling acknowledgement of the killer's elusive nature. "How does he do it?" The pattern, once a chilling anomaly, began to emerge with terrifying regularity. A lawyer, a CEO, a renowned violinist, all successful, independent women, all seduced by the killer's charm, all left with a single red rose, a macabre signature of his cruelty. The city was gripped by fear, the media fueled the flames of panic, and the police were left chasing shadows, their efforts seemingly futile. A psychologist's profile painted a disturbing portrait. A narcissistic, highly intelligent manipulator, a man who craved attention but feared capture, a player in a deadly game with lives as pawns. He was a master of deception, a chameleon who could adapt to any situation, any personality. Anna, her gaze intense, studied the blurry sketch of the suspect, a man with a charming smile and piercing eyes. She felt a connection, a sense that she was close, yet the killer remained elusive, a phantom slipping through their fingers, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and the lingering, haunting scent of roses. The theater lobby buzzed with the post-performance energy, a sea of faces illuminated by the warm glow of chandeliers. Anna, off-duty but ever vigilant, moved through the crowd, her senses heightened. She'd come to enjoy a moment of respite, but her detective's instincts rarely took a break. That's when she saw him. Alex. His charm, a palpable aura, drew attention like a spotlight, focusing on a renowned actress, her face alight with his words. Anna's heart pounded. She recognized the familiar cadence, the practiced charm, the predatory focus. It was the same pattern, the same seductive dance she had seen in the case files. A surge of adrenaline coursed through her veins. She reached for her concealed weapon, her hand instinctively closing around the cold steel. But the crowd, a living, breathing entity, shifted and swayed, obscuring her view. A wave of bodies surged forward, a wall of faces blocking her line of sight. Anna pushed through, her determination fueled by a desperate urgency. When she finally broke free, Alex was gone, vanished. The actress, visibly shaken, confirmed Anna's suspicions. He had been charming, captivating, but then, without warning, he had excused himself and disappeared into the throng. It was like he just melted away, she murmured, her voice laced with a tremor of unease. He was toying with us, Anna thought, her heart pounding against her ribs. He knew we were close. He was playing a dangerous game. The near miss was a stark reminder of the killer's cunning, his ability to slip through their fingers like smoke. Then, as if he had never existed, the Casanova killer vanished. The city, once gripped by terror, slowly began to breathe again. But for Anna and the rest of the police force, the silence was deafening. The investigation, once a whirlwind of activity, ground to a halt. Leads dried up, witnesses recanted, and the trail went cold. "He's gone to ground," Mark said, his voice heavy with resignation, a weariness that mirrored Anna's own. "He's covered his tracks." "But why?" Anna asked, her voice laced with frustration. "Why stop now? He was so close." "Maybe he got what he wanted," Mark replied, his gaze distant. "Fear, attention. He thrives on it." "Or maybe," Anna countered, her eyes narrowing, a flicker of suspicion igniting within her, "he found a new stage, a new audience. He's not finished, I can feel it." The lingering unease was a constant reminder that the game was far from over. Years etched themselves onto the city's timeline, yet the Casanova Killer case remained a haunting melody in Anna's memory, a phantom limb that ached with unresolved questions. The faded file, a constant companion in her thoughts, held a detail that refused to surrender its secrets: the art. Each victim, a woman of refined taste and accomplishment, had recently attended the same traveling exhibition, a showcase of Renaissance masterpieces. "The art," Anna murmured, her voice a low, echoing whisper in the quietude of her apartment, the silence punctuated only by the rhythmic tick of her antique clock. It was the linchpin, the common denominator. But to what end? Driven by a persistent intuition, she immersed herself in the exhibition's details. She scrutinized the catalog, the promotional materials, the list of sponsors. A name surfaced, a name that resonated with wealth and influence. Victor Stratton, a renowned art collector, a silent benefactor of the exhibition. The Stratton estate, a sprawling mansion nestled amidst manicured gardens, exuded an air of timeless elegance. Stratton's personal studio, a vast, opulent space, was a testament to his passion for art, a sanctuary filled with priceless paintings and sculptures. The elderly Stratton, his demeanor refined and his eyes sharp, greeted Anna with a polite, almost paternal smile. "Detective Reed," he said, his voice smooth and cultured. "A most unexpected pleasure. What brings you to my humble abode?" "I'm revisiting the Casanova Killer case, Mr. Stratton," Anna replied, her gaze unwavering. "I've discovered a recurring link to the Renaissance exhibition." A flicker of sadness crossed Stratton's face. "A tragic affair," he said, his voice laced with genuine sorrow. "Those poor women, their lives extinguished so senselessly." "You knew them?" Anna asked, her eyes narrowing, her instincts telling her he was holding something back. "Through the art world, yes," Stratton replied, his tone measured. "They were patrons, admirers of the arts." Anna's gaze was drawn to a portrait hanging prominently on the wall. The subject, a young man of striking handsomeness, possessed piercing eyes and a captivating smile. The resemblance to the blurry sketch of the Casanova Killer was undeniable, almost chilling. "Who is that?" Anna asked, her voice a hushed whisper. "That was my son, Alex," Stratton replied, his voice tinged with a profound sadness. "He passed away some years ago in a tragic accident." Anna's mind raced. the pieces of the puzzle clicking into place with a disturbing clarity. Alex Stratton, the Casanova Killer. Yet, something still felt amiss. A discordant note in the symphony of truth. She delved deeper into Alex Stratton's past, uncovering a history of mental instability, a fascination with classic literature, and a talent for forgery. But a hidden truth lay beneath the surface, a secret that sent a cold shiver down her spine. Alex Stratton had an identical twin. Twins, Anna murmured, the word hitting her like a punch to the gut. She flipped through old news articles, scanning photos, piecing together inconsistencies. The handwriting in letters to victims had slight variations, barely noticeable unless one knew where to look. The expressions in photographs, sometimes confident, sometimes reserved, belonged to two different men playing the same role. The truth settled into her bones like ice. One brother had hunted, the other had watched, and now one was dead. But which one? And had the other truly stopped? Or had he simply become a better ghost? She re-examined the crime scene photos, searching for subtle discrepancies, inconsistencies in the handwriting, nuances in the details. The realization struck her with the force of a revelation. The killer was not one man, but two. They were playing a game, she thought, her mind reeling, the pieces of the puzzle forming a horrifying picture. A deadly game of identity. One twin, the charming predator, the face of the operation. The other, the silent observer. The architect of the deception. She returned to Stratton's studio, her resolve hardened, her questions burning. "You knew, didn't you?" she asked, her voice firm, unwavering. "You knew about your sons, their twisted game." Stratton, his face etched with a mixture of guilt and resignation, confessed. Alex, the charismatic twin, had craved fame, recognition, a place in the spotlight. His brother, always relegated to the shadows, had yearned to be Alex, to inhabit his life, to steal his identity. They were inseparable, Stratton said, his voice a low, mournful whisper. They shared everything, even their darkness. He led Anna to a hidden room, a private sanctuary, a shrine to Alex. The room was filled with his paintings, his writings, his trophies, a testament to his insatiable ego. In the corner, a single figure sat, shrouded in shadow. "Who's that?" Anna asked, her voice barely audible, her heart pounding in her chest. "My other son," Stratton replied, his voice soft and broken, a whisper of grief. "The one who lived." The truth was as grotesque as it was brilliant. The silent twin, the shadow, had never stopped playing the role. When Alex died, he didn't just grieve, he became him. He learned his mannerisms, perfected his voice, inherited his victims. The red roses, the whispers of affection, the curated charm. It was never about love, it was about control. A performance so seamless, so practiced that even he had begun to believe it. And now, as he sat in the dimly lit room, his face unreadable, Anna knew she was staring at a ghost, not of the dead, but of the living. A man who had spent so long pretending that he no longer knew where Alex ended and he began. He had watched and helped his brother, and when his brother died, he simply became him. The red roses, the charm, the murders, it was all a macabre performance, a twisted echo of a life he never truly lived. The fame he was chasing was not his own. It was a dead man's fame, a hollow victory built on stolen identity and shattered lives.